another great episode of Uncover. My name is Modifa Kapungwe, and today we are bringing to you something that will activate your brain, your mind, and the way you view life, and also abundance as a whole. So joining me is Abel Weir, who is an entrepreneur. He is a motivational speaker. He is so on and so forth. So I'll let you introduce yourself so you can actually run us through every other thing that you do. But yes, we'll be touching on the power of positive thinking. So we're really talking about the mind and how it can help build you into that life of abundance. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's very important. That's Walanda TV Studio. And also follow us on Facebook, Walanda Studios. We'll be so glad to hear from you. So let's just dive right into it. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to see you after...
Yeah.
Is it been long, but we've been planning for this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about yourself quickly, what you do. I know you're a motivational speaker. I also know that you're a CEO. What else?
Well, I think you've said most of it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. So I really want to start with asking you, what really is what role does the mind play in what our lives turn out to be? Because I've heard so many people who believe that, there's nothing you can do about your life. What is meant to happen is going to happen. There's nothing, God has already written your life down. So no matter how hard you work, if you're meant to be poor, you'll be poor. Those who are meant to be rich will be rich. But how then can you really say you can put some effort into making your mind, result into a life that you actually believe you can sustain?
Well, I always tell people, and I always say that a human being consists of the mindset. So the mindset is what a person is built of. So basically, without the mindset, you can never do anything. You can never achieve anything in this life. Because the mindset is what gives you the power to achieve everything you want. The mindset is the key of success. Yeah, everything that you plan, everything that you put in your mindset, that's what you're going to achieve. So the key aspect of the mindset is that the mindset gives you the light of your destiny. Without that, believe you me, it is not about prayer. It's not about how much you can study. It's about how you position your mindset.
Great.
Yeah.
You've touched on something that's important. You said it's not about prayer. Because,
I'm a Christian.
I'm a Christian too.
Okay.
So now, we believe, in fact, we've been made to believe all our lives that just pray. And let's really be honest. We know there's so many people who pray. But for some reason, their lives are not really what you admire or what you feel life should be like. So what role does prayer really play? And, how then are you supposed to really shape your mind? How do you become a person that thinks your way into abundance?
Okay. So actually there are two kinds of things that we need to capture down there. Like for example, there is a way of spiritual life and there is a way of living life. Away from the spiritual life aspect. Exactly. So the spiritual life, it's actually about faith, what you believe in. And then the way of living life, it is the reality of what you are living in. So the difference is that there is nothing wrong with praying. There is nothing wrong with, doing spiritual things and all that. But what matters is how you program and how you project your mindset. Because there are some people, and we have seen some people who believe to say, okay, for me, I just have to pray and then everything comes. But it doesn't work like that. If you are living, then you must work out everything that you need. Yeah.
What would you say to people who believe in working hard? I need to work hard for me to live that life. Do you actually feel working hard pays off? And also, when it comes to positive thinking, am I just the person who's supposed to sit down and say, okay, I'm thinking about a mansion, and then I think about a beautiful home, and then just like that, it will come?
Okay, well, there are two kinds of working hard, right? There is working hard for someone, where you build someone's dream, and where you work hard for yourself, building your own dream. You understand? So if you want to work hard to build someone's dream, you have to know that you are not building your dream. You are actually you are hired to build someone's dream. So if someone should be able to work hard, let me say this. I personally feel like if you are not building your own business, your own company, or your own life, you shouldn't actually say that you are working hard. Yeah, because that you are building, which is someone's. Yeah, exactly. You understand. So you can only say that you are working hard if you are building your own company, your own dream. That's the difference which is there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see that. And for the being positive and thinking positively, what is really involved? Like I earlier asked, is it just thinking positively? What else can you do intentionally to achieve that goal?
Well, thinking positive is more like faith, right? So faith gives us the power to believe in what we don't know, what we don't see. That's how it is also. So thinking positive is what gives you the capacity to stand and face the challenges of life. Because if you don't have the positive mindset, it's obviously that you are going to give up. You understand? And believe you me, the moment you have a negative mindset, it brings in fear. Let me tell you something. There is something that a lot of people fear to actually conquer, right? That is fear.
Fear.
Everyone wants to think on the positive side. That's why some of the people, when you're given an opportunity to do the job, for instance, the main focus that they actually get is to the contract. Do you know why? Because they want assurance.
Yes.
So how about if we capture the mindset and put in the fear aside?
Are we going to call fear security and being cautious? Let's say, okay, I just need to trade carefully. It's not really that I'm scared,
No,
but
no, no.
maybe I just want to be careful.
Okay. Not really. By the way, fear paralyzes faith. If you are a child of God, you know what I'm talking about. You can't be praying about something that you are scared of, something that you are not sure of. So if someone must have faith, then it means you believe and you know that you are going to achieve it spiritually. So why should I have a negative mindset when I'm chasing my dream, when I'm building my own life? Why should I have fear, a negative mindset? It is not supposed to be like that. Why? Because let me tell you something. A life is built under a plan, on a plan. Each one of us, everyone, I believe you guys to start up this studio, you had to plan. And in that planning, you had to know that one of the most things that you are going to face, it is the challenge of the negative energy. So how were you going to conquer that? That is one thing that you should put in front.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you master the negative mind before you go to the positive mind.
Wow.
Because even if you are positive, as long as your negative mind is activated, just believe you me, you are not going to achieve anything. So you have to make sure that you master the voice of the negative mindset. By the way, I say that the mindset has got three voices. The mindset, which is the positive, the negative, and then the voice of choosing what you're thinking. So we have got
The voice of choosing what you're thinking.
What you're
You
thinking.
give some clarity on that.
Okay, so for example, you're building on something, right? This is a business. You are starting from the scratch, and then there is also the other negative part. What if I don't succeed? Then you look at people, because we have got more testimonies of the people who have failed
Yes.
than the people who have succeeded.
Yes.
So the negative mindset focuses on the people that have what? Have failed doing the business more than the people who have succeeded. Because most of the people will just want to focus on someone's success, not on someone's process.
That's true.
And in that process, you need to make sure that you master these three voices: the negative part, the positive part, and the choice, the decision.
Great. You know, as you were speaking, I just remembered
Yes.
one. I don't know. It was a back end. No, it was just a little debate that I had with my colleague at work. So he was saying, you know, I'm very positive, and I think I can actually achieve. My mind is positive. I always think positively. And then he mentioned something to say, okay, there's a business that I'm planning. This once I take this, once I do this, it's going to actually work out for me. But here's where the issue came in. He said, I need to have some backup. And then I went in and said, you're not positive enough if you feel you need to have a backup in case something doesn't work. So meaning that backup is your preparation for failure. So if it doesn't work, you still want to be ready for that failure. That was my argument. So we went back and forth. He said, no, backup is just being sure. I said, backup is a plan for failure. If it doesn't work, this. So in your mind, you're preparing for failure. So I know this is what a lot of people think about, right? I just need to have backup, so that in case of cases, ningagweleko paso, that thing. So what would you really say about this?
Okay. Well, backup is part of the management. Because if you have got a plan, you need to make sure that you have got a structure. Okay, and that structure is falling on the management part. In everything that we do, we need to calculate the risk. If you don't calculate the risk, then you're going to fall. So normally, if you use those kind of words, backup. By the way, it also matters, right? The kind of backup that you need. You want people to be there to be pushing you to say, "No, let's go. You'll be able to do it. You can achieve it." Or what kind of a backup do you want? The first step that you need in that kind of a scenario is yourself. You are the one who has got the vision, and you have to make sure that it is actually 100% right. Okay? You know you have mastered the plan. You know how much it's going to cost you. You know the kind of workers that you need. There are some companies, they just want maybe crazy people. They just want someone who is crazy. Someone who can even shout at the boss. Why? It's part of the plan. You find that those people, they can misbehave and all that, but they can never be fired. Because they are meant to be there to handle certain issues on behalf of the company. So it's also part of the plan. You get what I'm talking about, right? So basically, what I believe in is I don't need you for me to succeed. I don't need a group of people for me to succeed. What I need is my mindset. Once I make it up, then I know I'm going to succeed, with or without you. Because most of the people, what they look at, what they care most about is actually the money. So if you come and work for me, for example, do you know what your main focus is? You don't want to know, okay, how the boss is trying to work it out. All you want to do is just to earn your money. Then leave, go, and all that. Then what matters? What matters, what fuels the vision, it is actually the mindset. If your mindset is weak, just know that it will be very easy for you to be blown away by the wind. That is people's decisions or advices, yeah.
And I think the majority of people are battling with this issue of mindset. I feel it's a lot of people who are going through this. You know why? I'm trying to look at two individuals. I saw this and people were saying it's not everybody that you can just go to a person and tell them think positively and it'll be easy, and then you go to the other person and tell them think positively and it'll be difficult. You can tell this person and say, you know what, you will have money tomorrow, and they'll believe it. The other one will struggle. And it goes back to perhaps how they were raised. A person who's raised in a place where there was lack all the time. They didn't see money. Money was a luxury in their home. And then there's another one who just grew up with money. So it's never a problem. So the way these people receive that information is different. And also another person who you tell, go and invest in a business, start up something. And this is a person who's tried over and over again, and they've kept on failing. They were positive at some point, saying, I'm going to start a business. Exactly. They failed. Again, they failed. When you go to that person and tell them, think positively, start up a business, you will struggle a bit because their mind has already been programmed. So if such a person is watching, what really would you advise them?
Okay, so, building, it's not something easy. That's the first thing. Building, it's not something easy. Actually, it comes with a lot of challenges. And that's why you see some of the people, they fall off along the way. They will go out, some of them, they will give up and all that. But it's not like that. Let me tell you something. If there is something which is 100% difficult under the sun, is to capture your mindset. Wow. Believe you me. Everything that you need, everything, what spiritually, physically, everything, financially, it all starts with the mindset. I'm telling you. That's why the mindset is what holds all the senses of the body. It's main machine of a human being. It tells you what to do. You program it to do what it tells you to do, or what you tell it to do, rather. So the mindset is, for me, I would rather have my mindset than having friends. Okay. Yeah. Do you know why? because I wouldn't want it to be disturbed. The way I program it, I want it to run like that.
You know what you said is very powerful. I think what I'm getting here is external influence.
Okay.
You know, you might have an idea, and I'm thinking, is it because of what we hear other people say? So is that what you're trying to drive at?
Okay. Now, here is the thing. If you look at, we have got a lot of people, like you said, we have got a lot of people who have tried on investments and they are negative about it because of failure. We have got people who have tried to build their own lives, but they are negative about it because of failure. And to others, it's not because of failure, because they have heard other people have failed, so they are scared to do the same thing. You understand? So, the mindset, it is actually a simple thing. Do you understand the blockchain technology?
No.
Okay.
The blockchain?
The blockchain technology. So the mindset is more like a blockchain of technology, which has got over maybe about 5,000 computers programmed into that. So this helps you to capture. It's a puzzle, right? It helps you to capture every piece and create it the way you want it to be. So for people out there, I always tell people to say, always pay attention to your mindset, not to people's opinions. You understand? Because people's opinions, they are more effective, especially if you don't know how to use your mindset. And if you have not captured the voice of your mindset, it is very difficult for you to capture, to understand when you are right to do it. You have to make sure that first capture the mindset. Know the level of the influence that your mindset has. Understand the voice of your mindset. You understand? Once you understand the voice of the mindset, it becomes easy for you to control everything that you see. Because it will not be about people's opinions.
Yes.
It is going to be about what you know is right.
Is right. That's true.
And that gives you the positive capacity to do what? To achieve a lot of things that you want to achieve.
That's quite powerful. At what point does one take advice? Because what I'm hearing now is that, we're surrounded by so many people. I'll just be on my phone and this serious person wearing smart that pops up and they're giving me advice. And this information keeps coming into my mind. And all the time, conversations that we have with family, friends, there's a lot of talk. And at some point in time, you might want to do something and people still say, learn to take advice. Listen to people who've gone ahead of you. So where do I draw the line? What kind of advice should I listen to, or should I not take advice at all and just listen to myself? Okay,
here is the thing. That's a good question. Thank you so much. So, let me ask you something. As we were growing up, maybe I'm sure you were at some point of time. Maybe at some point, you once felt in love, right?
Yes.
And you never wanted anyone to say anything bad concerning your boyfriend.
No.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because you felt in love.
Okay.
That's how it is even with the mindset. So, people's opinions, you are not made out of people's opinions. You are raised, you are educated in order for you to be able to produce the opinions that are going to affect people positively in the society. So here is the thing. I'm still going back to the mindset. So here is the thing. You understand your mindset, you know your capacity, and all that. There is nothing wrong with people giving you advice. But what are you learning out of the advices they're giving you? Because if someone should give you an advice, it must be on the things that you already know, not on the things that you don't know. You understand? And on every advice that is going to come, it is going to matter on your decision. How you are going to look at that.
And I'm seeing a lot of things coming out, a lot of advice coming out as care, but you can see the level of fear they impose in you. You tell somebody excited about something, you tell them, okay, I have this business idea, and they say, we did that, and it didn't work. Maybe. So yeah, if somebody tells you about something that they tried and it didn't work, should you really ignore them altogether, or you can pick something from that?
I'm going back to the mindset. That is the voice of, that is the negative voice from my mindset. So if I don't pay attention to my negative voice in my mindset, why should I pay attention to someone's negative advice? It doesn't work. I don't take it. For me, it's a no. I believe in what I see.
Was there any time in your life where somebody discouraged you to do something and you did it and it actually worked?
So here is the thing. We have seen, like me, we have done a lot of investments, of which we have lost a lot of money. And you see other people discouraging you from doing something, and just somebody who doesn't know that thing, how it works, they try it and they become successful. How ashamed can you be? So it is the matter of now you understanding the three voices and make a decision from the same.
Okay. Run us through your story quickly. I know people are saying, oh, this is an entrepreneur and this is somebody that is managed to get to certain heights in his life. But one would really want to really listen to a story that is a bit practical for them to actually believe, you know. What kind of background did you with the mindset, right? Did you grow up as a positive thinking person, or did you have to acquire that with time? And what kind of environment did you grow up in?
Thank you so much for that question. By the way, I didn't come from a good background. Okay, yeah, we were raised well by our parents, especially by my single mother. I love you, Agnes. I hope you are watching me. So here is the thing. For me, I'm telling you, this is the truth. I grew up with 100% negative mind and with fear. Because as I was growing up, there were certain things that we used to hear people say. And if you encounter that on your way, you're going to know this thing. It's danger. You understand? This cannot work for me and all that. So there are moments in life whereby you are trying to push something and then it just doesn't go your way. Then you put everything together, you combine everything together, and you'll be like, how come we finto Fonstein bomba every time? A scenario whereby, have you been in a situation whereby you know this, like, okay, there's something wrong with me, because that's how you're programming your mindset. So maybe in the middle of something happens. Okay, something happens. Maybe there's an accident somewhere. Because you were there, do you know what is going to happen? You are going to think, maybe these people are affected because of me. Maybe I've got a bad luck and all that. You understand that kind of a thing? Yeah. I remember the first time that I went to get my license, because I had a lot of promises which were not fulfilled.
Promises from who?
From a lot of employments, contracts and all that, whereby you will go out with people, you sit, MOU signed and everything, and then people just tell you to say, no, you see, I think we're not going to proceed.
Sorry.
We are sorry. And did you know what? After 1 week, you hear, no, that person is working on this stuff. And then you are like, why me? You understand? And then this is a scenario whereby after being through it all, then I think I had, there's a time that we did a certain project, and then it was successful. We made some good money, We made some good money and all that. But still, it went down and we lost everything. But from there, I learned something. But believe you me, in that process, I was depressed. I was depressed in the process because nothing was making sense. And you are looking at, by the way, social media also, Nin Salafi. You know what I mean, right? Because most of the times what we see on social media, what our friends put on social media, it's not actually the real thing. So as a young guy trying to push and all that, you find that you are getting pressure from what you are seeing. Then you start asking yourselves to say, my friends are happening then. What about me?
Why am I still here?
Why am I still here? And then what happens? So for me, my growth or my breakthrough came in after a long-term depression. I was depressed and I stayed out of my family for a long period of time.
How long?
Maybe 3 years.
Away from your family for 3 years? What do you mean away from them? Physically away or even in
Physically
touch?
away.
Were you communicating with them?
No. Once in a while, only when I think about them.
Okay.
Hmm.
That must really have, that was depression.
It was a lot. I've once tried to commit suicide. Yeah. My sister can testify that. I committed, but I didn't die, by the way.
Right. You did?
I did it.
What did you do to yourself?
I took that doom.
What were you going through at that point?
That point, I was taken by my cousin. I was in Nakonde there. We were working. And I was schooling by then as well. So there are just things that wasn't going right for me and all that. So here are the people trying to help you in school, and then you were there trying to, try to make it on the street, and things are not just getting well. By then I was staying with my cousin. I can't mention the name. Then randomly I was moved out of the house. Okay, I was moved out of the house, and do you know what happened? I started sleeping in the industries. So at night, I will go and work.
How old were you at that time?
I think I was maybe 21, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think 20. No, 24, 25 somewhere. Maybe. No.
You're really a young
I'm not really sure. I'm
Okay.
not sure about that. So, in that process, at night I would work. My industry is A1 million because I never had anywhere to sleep. So I would work at night, the entire night. Then in the morning I would go in Chivolia. I will go in Chivolia, I will smoke weed, I will find something to eat, and I will sleep there. When it's time to go, I go back to work. So that was the worst time that I ever experienced, the worst thing that... but I'm grateful for it. That day I told my sister that I'm coming home. That's what I told her.
So why didn't you go home? Because you already had a family. Why sleep in those places? Was it really that? Because I get another aspect of what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You were abusing drugs. Like there was the weed,
Yeah.
So was that also in a way contributing to you being away from the family and?
No, by the way, that was calming me down.
Okay.
Yeah, drugs, they were calming me down. I've never stolen anything from anyone. I never did. I knew this guy was got a destiny, but what I needed is people to be around to support me. But right now, I feel like by that time I never needed anyone. It was just the process of growth, the process of growing.
Okay, so let's drive back to the moment you were depressed, and how then did you come out of depression?
Okay, well, let me tell you something. That is, I wouldn't want anyone to go through that state. A lot of people, they don't survive.
No, they don't.
They don't. In that state, this is where you judge between life and death. That brings that. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. That one, it takes life and death. You know what I mean, right?
You're judging between should I live or should I die?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see any meaning to this.
Exactly. That's where now you think, but you can't process. That is the dangerous part of it. When you are in when you are in depression, you think but you cannot process. And if you think you cannot process, that is the danger part of it. That now brings in, if you have read spiritually, they say self-pity. That brings in about maybe self-pity. Why am I going through this? Why me? Why should I pass through this? What who is there to help me and all that? Now that was happening here in Zambia. Then I decided to travel. I went out of the country.
Where did you go to?
I was in Zimbabwe.
How did you go to Zimbabwe?
I just went. I just decided to go there.
Okay.
And we went like 3 of us. There's one of my friends. She's Feloni, and the other one is my friend from Uganda. So we went there more like on a business trip. But me, I decided to stay there. Everyone came back and all that, but I stayed there. Yeah. I stayed there for some time.
Okay. Okay, so did the new environment, is it what helped bring you out of that depression?
Exactly. I think that's what helped me to 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 recover. But it's not easy. It's not easy.
It was a slow process.
It was a slow process, and you know what? I went back to drugs, even when I was odd. You understand? And I was praying even by then. Yeah,
You were like a believer.
I'm a believer. Then I went back to drugs. Because even if I talk to you about what I'm going through, you can't give me any solution.
Okay.
You understand? So it's between me, life, and God. So we are discussing. So I never found my way out close to maybe a year. I was just depressed. And this is something that I never shared with anyone. None of my family members.
Okay.
But if I remember very well, I used to call mom. Yeah, on a direct yeah. No. Just to greet her. Sometimes I would catch, she picks the phone, I will call, hi, how are you doing? Mudife bueno shani. Umraisa disa na cutting a phone call. Because I was feeling bad. I was feeling like I'm a failure. That's the first thing.
Okay.
I was feeling like I'm a failure. I was feeling like I failed her. I failed my entire family. And I just gave up. I just gave up. So there was a point in time whereby, remember, I'm coming from a process and I've done some things there as in the same process, right? Whereby I've tried to do this. I know some people that can connect me back if I want to come back into the industry. Then this is just the mindset whereby, okay, fine. You are just there thinking. When you're thinking, when you're thinking is not processing, it's dangerous.
So by processing, what really do you mean?
If you are thinking about something, you have to process. You need to find a solution to that.
Okay.
You understand? That's why women they get depressed. Do you know why? Because you think about the same husband who you do everything. Then he just goes to cheat on you. Then you are thinking, oh, I do everything. But why did he decide to do that? So by failing to find an answer, that is failing to process,
I get it.
then that one puts you in a space of depression.
So, somebody shouldn't think about why is this happening to me. Rather, they should think about how can I come out of this?
How can I come out?
What
of
can I
this?
do to stop
What
this?
can I do to stop this? So it's always about, now that one also comes in if you capture the three things. The positive mindset, the negative mindset, and the voice of the decision inside the mindset.
So, you are working on a book.
Yes.
Yes, and
The
that
power
has
of
to do
mindset.
the power of the mindset.
Yes.
Yes, I know there's a lot that from what you've actually shared. I know there was a lot of transition that happened, from the negative voice inside of you that kept on telling you can't really amount to anything, and finally you are here, and I just want to know exactly how this transition happened. What did you intentionally do that you can advise somebody to do? It's okay, do this, do that. I came from here, but I go to a place where I changed my mind, and finally I'm here. I've got shelter, I've got whatever it is that I want, and it all came from this place.
Okay, so basically what I would say is, first thing first, know your capacity. Learn to understand your capacity. Don't understand it, master it. There are things you are not meant to do everything. You understand? So it's very important for you to understand your capacity. Learn, know your skills. What are you good at? Are you good at talking? Master it. Are you good at doing something? Football? Master it. So when you master your skills, okay, then look at the challenges that you've been through and where you are. Because I feel like 90% of humans under the sun, they have thought of what? Suicide.
Yes.
But why didn't they do it? Hope. Is it? And the purpose of God over your life.
That's true.
So when you combine that, when you combine these things, you are going to understand and know that, okay, me as a human being, I'm meant to do this. There are a lot of people there. We have a lot of graduates, right? They're just there on Facebook, busy depressing. Why are you depressing? You don't know why you are depressing. You've got a phone. You are an educated person. Try to do something with your qualifications. You actually don't need someone to employ you. You can create something out of what you've learned. You understand? So I was this kind of a person. Even if I'm drunk, I'll start asking myself. I would process when I'm drunk, and I'm like, when I'm normal, I'm not. And then I started mastering my mindset. And when I'm drunk, when I think about something, I process. I have to come back to normal. Whilst I'm drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to come back to normal, and I will look at everything normal.
Really?
And I would say, Abel, this is not your place.
Yeah.
This is not you.
And that is how you stopped with it.
That's how I stopped with that. So there is this day we went out with the guys. We went out, and then after coming back, everyone went. I was by my friend's house, Then I was asking for his slippers. So the moment I was there, I started thinking through. It was more like there's just light, you know what I mean? What am I doing here? Is this who I am? No. No, Abel, you're not this. You know what you are able to do, and you can achieve it. What do you need? You need a lot of finances. From where? Learn about money. Understand how money moves.
Wow.
So I mastered that. I started learning all those things. You need a lot of people to work with. No. You don't need anyone. You need yourself. You need yourself.
It's the content that you're consuming.
Exactly. You understand? So after mastering everything, I learned about all this. Then I started expanding one by one. So I realized that the first thing that everyone is supposed to master is the voice of fear, which is the negative mindset. The negative mindset brings about poverty. And it makes you become a slave. Because even when others are telling you to say you can do it, you don't even know, oh, is it me they are telling that I can do it? Oh, if you no. It doesn't work like that. So you master yourselves. After I mastered my negative thinking, I mastered my positive thinking. Then I realized to say these two things, they were fighting. Whenever I'm positive, I will think about how someone failed. Can you do this? Then I realize, oh, this is another voice. So let's do this. I started something. And when I started something, it was actually in the foreign land.
Where was that?
That was in Angola. I started something. When I started something, I couldn't even speak Portuguese. And I just got this guy. I was just telling him what to do. I just started like a small place, like, like a drinking place. Just something small. And you know what? I used the only money that I was getting as a salary by then. And then I just started. And the first day, it was packed. Wow. And I'm like, really? So I need to do more. You understand? So I sacrificed the little money that I had to make more money. And that's how it began to grow.
Okay.
You understand? So I moved from this place to another place. Just like that. Then I realized to say, no, you don't need money. You need yourself.
That's it.
And master the transition of money. You don't need money.
Wow. That is quite interesting. Okay, as we are about to conclude on this conversation, I sort of think that I should ask this question as I feel it's very important. There are so many people who have like touched their dreams, where you feel like, yes, nafika, then suddenly you're back to zero. You see that? Now, how do you maintain? Because there are people who would tell you to say, there's an andra, my fee. Then, if you look at them now, they are totally no, I don't like to say nobodies, but they don't have the money that they had at that particular at some point in their lives. So how do you really maintain that cash flow? How do you maintain that life of abundance where you're okay and you don't rise fall again?
Management.
What do you mean by management?
You have to have a structure. Even you as a human being, you have got a budget, right? You know how much you spend, right? That's how it is. All you need is just management. You have to have a structure. You have to have a structure. Without the structure, then it's gone. Yeah. Even in business, we have got money we have got a tree, of course. The money in operations, the money for salaries, the money for savings, the money for, you understand? So you have got all the plan. And then you are only getting on what belongs to you, not what belongs to the company. You only use what belongs to you. Even on the money, after you get your salary, you go and you buy everything. You only spend on what is left.
Okay.
So that's the only key.
That's the only key.
That's
So
the only
just,
key.
in other words, budgeting.
Budgeting, money
Yeah,
management, it's very
that's important. I get that. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I think this has been quite inspirational. If anything, anybody will grow from this conversation and at least have a shift in their mindset. Thank you so much. Any closing remarks? Anything?
The only thing that I would like to tell people is that they should learn to understand their mindset. Learn to understand your capacity. Learn to master your capacity. Understand what you are meant to do. Stop being on Facebook. Stop sleeping, chatting people, busy poking people. No, 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 no. Try to use what you have to get what you want. Exactly.
All right. And this is where we end this edition of Uncover. It's been quite insightful, and I hope you did enjoy your time throughout this conversation that I had with Mr. Abel Weir. Until next time, my name is Modified. Goodbye for now.